This is from the fantastic, the talented Anthony Fantano, and the title of this is just called the Anthony Oliver Song, and it's got about 10,000 likes with over 11,000 dislikes. Okay, let's see what this is about.
Hey everyone, Anthony Fantano here, internet's busiest music nerd. Hope you're doing well. Let's talk about the right wing's new favorite country song. Comes from an...
right off the bat, it's country, so it's gotta be hillbilly nonsense, and that means you're dumb. Yeah, love that poisoning of the well early.
Artist named Oliver Anthony, somebody who a year ago most music publications would probably just say is an unknown singer-songwriter.
Yeah, that's kind of the point.
Hails from Virginia, a town called Farmville, for that matter. Guy recently released a track named Richmond.
This dude looks like a stereotypical soy boy.
North of Richmond. And this song has been going mega viral. Not just among the sort of psychotic...
It really fucking has gone very viral. Oh, he's pulling up a Matt Walsh tweet and a Dan Bongino tweet to say that only psychos are fucking loving this song. Oh, this is fantastic. Hello, Guide, Zobel's Cult, Outlaw, all you guys.
Bigoted, weirdo, conservative influence.
I do not know why chat is not popping up on screen. Give me a second. I'll try to figure it out.
That, you know, typically will platform dudes like Tom McDonald whenever they see him in a music video jumping on a tank to be like, yeah, America is awesome, yeah. Even though he's like a Canadian grifter, but I digress.
This is like the stereotypical soy boy. You don't like people who like America. Okay, we get it.
No, this track has been going super viral just about everywhere. This isn't just some kind of weird Trump rap that has no impact or influence on anything, and idiots who don't understand how the music industry works are freaking out because, oh my God, it's #1 on iTunes. Nobody buys music on iTunes anymore.
That's irrelevant. It's still #1 on one of the largest music platforms on the internet. Didn't it, like, go viral with tens of millions of views in a few days?
It's like bragging about being the most popular product sold in a store that nobody goes to. But no, this Oliver Anthony song has been getting exposure well beyond that, doing slightly bigger numbers than some mainstream artists get on new singles and music.
Oh, that's why he's mad. His favorite darling is not doing better than Oliver Anthony.
Videos, so spreading pretty far and wide on streaming platforms too.
This is terrible. His music, nobody should be listening to this. It's hateful and bigoted or something and something else.
I was going to do a reaction to the track, but honestly, the performance is pretty straightforward, pretty dry. It's just some acoustic guitar, some vocals. The singing isn't the greatest I've ever heard, but it is.
Of course, it's not the greatest. This dude could come out with golden pipes and play the most beautiful song, and this partisan hack would turn around and go, no, it's not that good. He's not supporting what I like. It's no, Red Beard bad. Red Beard man bad. You guys in the chat have all heard this song, I assume, correct? Can I get a 1 if you've heard the song? We might need to put some content, you know, fuck it. We'll just play it for some context. I don't think it's copyright. I don't think the song is copyrighted. Oh, no, that's not.
I've been selling my soul, working hard.
No. There we go. I'm relatively sure the song's not copyright.
I've been selling my soul, working all day, overtime hours for bullshit pay, so I can sit out here.
So that's the song that's got these people's panties in a twist. And so far, honestly, the song itself does seem to allude to working class people having a hard time. But of course, the people that don't like it are all the fucking insane left-wingers. Some people are like, I think Vosh, again, with just absolutely no evidence. I grabbed it, but let me see if I can find Vosh right here. No evidence of this, none whatsoever. But then again, he's known for not providing evidence and just making claims for no fucking reason. Calling him a right-wing plant. That's pretty good. I read that his people were thrown off when Oliver said he didn't like that DeSantis quoted and alluded to his song. Yeah, because he's definitely not a Republican. Anybody with two brain cells to rub together can see that this is an anti-government, anti-politician song, not a pro-right-wing song. Like, I don't get how people can go, well, this is Republican. What it is the people who don't like it, it's that stone toss meme. Where it's like the communist standing there and he's like, I support the middle class or the working class. And then a working class person goes, oh, hey, man, thank you. And goes to shake his hand. And the communist is like, ugh. That's exactly what we're doing. That's exactly what this is. The soyest of the soy. But it is very easy to see how the right wing kind of super soyed out over this song. So naturally, people like Vosh and Fantano, and I don't know what Hassan's response to it, but I'm sure it was stupid. It probably also soyed.
Is good. And the playing isn't really what I'm trying to critique or pull apart here.
Hey, boys! Look what I got here. Hey, where are the white women at?
Always good to hear that one. Very underrated, that donation. First, smash the... Oh, never mind. Happy Labor Day, Sin, and chat. Love you fuckers, no homo. Thank you, Fustonia. Much appreciated. Knocking us up over 10% to goal. Thank you very much, sir.
Way. I figured this video might go down better or might make more sense if I just kind of go over the lyrics of the song and try to dissect what it's getting at exactly, because that sort of seems to be the heart.
No, CB, I completely agree with you. He's pointing out the stupidity of politicians, which I could not agree with more. There's not one person running right now where I'm like, hey, I like the cut of his jib. Except for RFK a little bit, honestly.
Of why it's resonating with so many people. All right, let's start in on these lyrics and see what exactly Oliver Anthony is getting at. I've been selling my soul, working all day, overtime hours for bullshit pay. So I can sit here and waste my life, drag back home, and drown my troubles away. Which is not a bad sentiment to express on...
But I'm sure you're going to find issue with it.
Any song, really, just kind of sounds like struggles personally with depression, working class woes, not being paid enough. Moving into the pre-chorus.
I don't think he means, like, depression. I think he means, like, oh, fucking shitty day.
It's a damn shame what the world's gotten to for people like me and people like you. Wish I could just wake up and it not be true, but it is. Oh, it is. The way he's kind of inviting the audience into the song to relate with what he's...
This is classic bluegrass blues-ish music.
Is going through. It almost has, like a Woody Guthrie type quality to it. It's very, I'm breaking the fourth wall and communicating directly with you. That's one of the powerful and significant hallmarks of folk music generally. As far as the writing and the messaging goes so far, Oliver Anthony is making really good use of these tropes, these themes, these mechanisms by which,
Nice mailman.
Old world singer-songwriters.
Mailman, also the creator of many fabulous donations. Don't trust the donation key down below. It's not accurate or up to date.
Would try to give perspective to average everyday listeners and also validate their experiences too. Moving into the chorus here, living in the new world with an old soul, these rich men north of Richmond, Lord...
Now, I know what he's going to say, but I don't know if you know what he's going to say, so I'm not gonna spoil it. But holy shit, when I heard it for the first time, the words that are about to come pouring out of his stupid fucking soy mouth, I almost lost my mind.
Knows they all just want to have total control, want to know what you think, want to know what you do, and they don't think you know, but I know that you do, because your dollar ain't shit and it's taxed to no end because these rich men north of Richmond. Okay, now this is interesting right here. This is
Are you guys ready? Are you ready for this? This is about to be the most insane shit you have ever fucking heard in your life. And I promise this is going to be fucking hilarious. Okay, now the donation key down below should be up to date. Sorry.
This is interesting framing and lyricism because he's putting...
It's not interesting. It's easy. Richmond, north of Richmond. It works.
Some very old and ignorant tropes down in a way that is super...
Why are your eyes closed? Like, why are you not looking at the screen or the camera while you record this? The soy is intense.
Subtle, artfully subtle, to the point where I think most...
Yeah, that's super fucking subtle. Richmond, north of Richmond is super subtle.
Most people wouldn't pick up on it or would be able to, like, you know, write off accusations of, like, whatever the mindset, perspective, or, you know, political leanings of this track are. Again, at this point, given the words...
The political leanings of anti-government sentiment. Super smart. Much wow.
He's chosen to write this song with, I think a lot of people would just say, well, yeah, he's just singing about working class struggle for country music fans. He's just getting down on their level. That's all he's doing. But, like, pay attention to the line that the title is named after. He's drawing lines there, not just class lines, as he's...
His body language is screaming, I'm lying. Not only that, but it's also screaming condescension. Like, this is some insane fucking condescension.
He's framing himself and everybody else listening to and relating to the song as poor.
Hey, VB.
Or in your average person, working class. Mind you, this guy like lives on 90 acres from what I understand. But
so the fuck what? Do you think that's a ton of land or something?
But that's neither here nor there. Or maybe it is, whatever. But
okay, champagne socialist. It's always the ones with the weird glasses.
More specifically, he's drawing a geographical line here as well, between
here it comes.
In north and south, using Richmond, Virginia as that dividing line.
And there it is. Ah, yes. Gotta love it. Mason, Dixon, Richmond, Virginia, Confederate apologia, motherfucking Civil War nonsense. This is... I've been doing this for a long fucking time. I've been doing this for a very long time. Response videos, internet stuff. This definitely goes into one of the hardest, most insane reaches I have ever fucking seen in my life. It's the Civil War, guys.
With that, you can't ignore the elephant in the room. You know, he's like bringing up old, bitter, north-south ideological disconnections that go back to the Civil War era. Drawing this...
So just any song ever that mentions Richmond, or really any city in the South that was something in the Confederacy, can never be mentioned in popular media again, or else you're a fucking Confederate right-wing Nazi shitbag.
North-south line. And
what's this guy's name? Well, for the purposes of the stream, he is Anthony Fantano, the internet's busiest music nerd. But for our purposes, mine and yours in the chat, he is the soy boy in needing of a yeeting. Me a yeet, needing a lot now.
And claiming that, you know, it's those people from the north that want to control us and tell us what to do. There's a lot of really bad and toxic and often bigoted political baggage that comes with, you know, that north.
Anybody with 2 brain cells can see that north of Richmond is in D.C. Like, everybody knows this. These are just facts.
North v South binary. And also on top of it,
it's the North v South binary. Him worried about working class people is clearly Confederate apologia.
It literally has nothing to do with the economic struggles that he's singing about in the first portion of the song. Rich men north of Richmond are not the sole reason that you're struggling economically. It's the exploitative and solely profit-driven market system we currently live under.
Oh, so it's not taxes that are fucking people over. It's capitalism. Well, it's not capitalism either. Okay, let's talk about this in reality. It's not capitalism that's doing this. It's crony corporatism. Corporatism allowed by those rich men north of Richmond. Stop. Fucking stop.
Which is hurting everyone all over the country, regardless of what side of the Mason-Dixon line you land on. Okay,
This dude never mentioned anything about the Mason-Dixon line. He was talking about D.C. It's the Richmond of Washington, D.C. Does not roll off the tongue.
Let's move on to the second verse here, because I hear that's where things start to get a little spicy. I wish politicians would look out for minors, and not just minors on an island somewhere. While in the abstract, this is not a bad thing to bring up.
Okay, so what are you going to find an issue with?
Often when the rubber hits the road, the people who are the loudest on this topic seem to turn a blind eye when some of their favorite figures...
Did he mention anything about Trump or Musk? I don't believe he did. I think he has specifically said he does not want his stuff played at the GOP.
Kind of get caught with their hand in the cookie jar. So that's an interesting line that's kind of at war with itself in a way. Also,
How is that at war with itself? You're assuming what this guy thinks. You're assuming.
Next one.
No proof. These people, him, Vosh, they just go off on these insane tangents with absolutely no fucking proof. Fuck this guy. I agree.
Because, Lord, we got folks in the street, ain't got nothing to eat.
Don't do that.
They're doing that. This man is the physical manifestation of the words pretentious cunt. That's pretty accurate. That is definitely accurate.
And the obese milk and welfare. Him whining about obese people, milking welfare.
Okay, you pull an article from 2017 that said, "Don't blame food stamps for obesity in America." I don't know, man. I've seen what these people buy with their fucking EBT and SNAP cards, and it ain't food. It's processed horseshit.
One of the oldest right-wing cries of wolf that there ever was, which is just a feigned concern over money being wasted. Oh, that's just wasteful. You're just throwing money down the toilet.
But I guarantee you this guy supports Ukraine. I'll put a bet on that shit. I don't have a lot to bet, but I'll fucking do it anyway.
Feeding these people who are fat.
Feeding these lazy, good for nothing.
When, like...
He wanted to say blacks right there. You could tell that's what he wanted to say. So he's letting his own little internalized nonsense seep out a little bit. But I like the implication that this is not only Confederate apologia, it is also supremely racist. It's hilarious.
If you want to talk about excess spending and waste in this country, monetarily speaking, fat people on welfare is like toward the bottom rung. A much larger portion of our overall budget as a country goes toward defense spending, goes toward wars, goes toward...
Yeah, you know what? I would agree that we spend way too much on that, and we should stop giving money to Ukraine, and we wouldn't be nearly in the mess that we're in right now. Does welfare have an effect on it? Yeah. Is it worth talking about? Yeah.
Places like the Pentagon throwing cash left and right with no accountability whatsoever. And also our healthcare system, which, mind you, we pay more for that per capita than any country that actually has a socialized healthcare system. That is...
Yeah, but they pay like a 50% income tax. Now we're going all the way back around. Holy fuck. Does anybody know what the PewDiePie soy boy donation is? Because I think we're in need of that.
All waste. That is all your tax dollars going down the drain. That is literally the government burning your money in your face. Going deeper here, well, God, if you're 5'3" and you're 300 pounds, taxes ought not to pay for your bag of fudge rounds. Honestly, there's more than enough money in the US budget to buy everyone enough fudge rounds to the point where we'll just all die and go into a diabetic coma.
Okay, but what does that have to do with what he's talking about? He's talking about people on the streets starving to death while other people are fat and living off of welfare. People who should be on welfare are not, and people who are on welfare should not be.
Which compare
Wasn't it Lime 21 something? Honestly, I don't fucking remember. Yeah, give me a minute.
Comparatively would be money better spent than on another unnecessary invasion, a bunch of military bases that do essentially nothing, or
$21.50 is the soy boy donation. And you know what? I agree.
I don't know.
Sorry, let me pull that back real quick. I agree. Stop funding Ukraine.
Invasion, a bunch of military bases that do essentially nothing, or I don't know, just putting that money into the pockets of price gouging big pharma.
And Pad is exactly right, Sam. He's screeching about all these issues that are because of the Richmond north of Richmond, then explaining how the song isn't about that. It is magical, the lack of self-awareness in what he's talking about. It is really beautiful.
Assholes. So to put it clearly, if your worry right now for your average person in this country is how far their dollar goes, how much money they're making, and you're thinking about like, where does that come from? Where does that problem originate?
How many people have cash on hand to give to homeless people? I have no idea, but I do believe that this homeless guy deserves it. I'm not homeless. I'm just talking shit.
What is the solution? And your head first goes to fat people on welfare, bro. Your priorities are fucked, because the issues and the problems you're talking about would still persist even if there wasn't a single person who was fat and on welfare. Young men are putting themselves 6 feet in the ground because all this damn country does is keep on kicking them down.
I'll bet you dollars to donuts. Again, this man is somebody who is very big on mental health and women's rights and equality for women, but then turns around and goes, fuck men.
Which, again, I don't think this is a bad sentiment to convey, but I think Oliver Anthony has the wrong target in his sights when it comes to like what is creating that inequity and what is creating that lack of opportunity. It's not.
So what? Hold
Oliver Anthony has
hold on a second.
The wrong target in his.
He's laughing at male suicide. Yes, of course.
Sites when it
that these partisan hacks actually have no morals or capitulation. They don't believe in anything they say. They just use it for their own political gain. So them laughing about male suicide, that is, I think, a 5 to 6 to 1 difference, is perfectly fine because it's men.
Comes to like what is creating.
Suicide rates are higher among veterans, which are mostly men. LGBTQ suicide. So he's talking about suicide rates, but didn't expressly comment on LGBT or veterans, so he doesn't give a shit.
That inequity and what is creating that lack of opportunity. It's not fat people eating sweet treats that may have been paid for with EBT. Finishing things up with the chorus, and yeah, he's singing about how, these rich men north of Richmond, they want all that total control. The irony is not lost on me that the origins of, these bad north-south
here you go again.
Relations draw back to the want for control and ownership of literal human beings. But yeah, reading through this, I'm not really surprised to see this track popping off with the groups of people that it is.
This track is popping off with most people.
Soy boy! Soy boy! Soy boy! Soy boy! What an absolute soy boy.
fuck this lumberjack want to be soy boy. I bet he knows what question mark tastes like. I assume question mark was an eggplant emoji, and I agree. I guarantee you he does.
Because, again...
Thank you, Luna. We are almost fucking 25% to goal. God damn.
It's really kind of drawing back to the same old story, the same old bullshit of North versus South, but it's just putting it in a slightly subtle...
This is not... Fucking... I started to go before I was ready. This is not North versus South. This is not North versus South at fucking all. This is the people versus the rulers. I thought this is what communists were all about. The working class rising up and standing up for themselves.
Package. And some of you may be watching this video reacting, thinking, you know, Anthony, why are you covering this? It's just like a right-wing country song.
It is not a right-wing song at all. It's not a right...
There's a million of them, but I think it's worth exploring and talking about the fact that the right-wingification of country music has...
Country music has almost entirely always been right-wing. What the fuck? It's always had at least a right leaning.
Has long been a political project that dates back to the Nixon administration.
I had to go to the ghetto the other day and I heard the song blasting in multiple places in the fucking ghetto. Yeah, that doesn't surprise me because here's a fucking spoiler alert. Ghetto people are poor too. There is a lot of poor black people. There's a lot of fucking poor white people. There's poor ghetto people. There's poor urban people. Oh my God. Anyway.
It's not just a post 9/11 thing as some Zoomers and younger millennials seem to think.
I don't know literally anybody who thinks that country music only became right-wing after 9/11. It's so fucking condescending. And why does your head look like that? Why are we fucking 25% to goal? Why is any of this happening?
And because the genre has been completely and utterly co-opted and corrupted, stuff like what Oliver Anthony is singing here is very well received, as we are seeing from the views and the virality of this track. And sadly, for a moment, while there was a part of me that was really excited to, see some of these more underground and alternative country artists coming up and gaining a bigger...
Because most mainstream country sucks fucking ballsack. It's terrible.
Voice in the internet age. What I think we're kind of, witnessing now is that the internet is also platforming some of the also fringe, but not quite as fringe as, Adeem the artist. Some of the...
What? The white trash reverie? What the hell? I can't read
fringe right-wing factions and elements of the genre. And that's how you're getting tracks like this and Zmij Aldin's, small town track popping off.
That track got famous because people immediately got mad about it. That's the only reason Jason Aldean's track fucking took off.
Because as terrible and as stereotypical and as garbage as stuff like Florida Georgia Line is, for example, they know at the very least to stay away from rhetoric like this. They're not coming on to talk about North.
If he just goes on to talk about the North versus South dynamic of the Civil War, I'm going to lose my goddamn mind.
North-South relations or anything
oh my God.
Like that. Last thing I'll say is, look, at the end of the day, I don't think Oliver Anthony and a lot of the people identifying with this track are inherently bad people. And it's not like the struggles that they're singing about or giving a voice to are completely invalid or not real. Much of the time they are real, and the fact that we're not addressing them as a country is part of what causes so much social rot in the US. The issue is these problems are being highlighted and then the blame gets laid onto different alternative and completely unrelated targets.
What the fuck is he talking about?
You're having a hard time getting a job. The price of milk is going up. Your dollar doesn't pay for shit right now. And you know what? That's because of immigrants. That's because of people who are lazy.
What? Why is he reading so far into words that were never spoken? Oh, the country sucks. Well, it's immigrants' fault. Why the fuck would you say that? Literally nobody mentioned immigrants or lazy people. What the fuck? Oh, what a hack.
And on welfare. It's because all of those elites up in the north, they don't like you. When in reality, if you wanted to wake up tomorrow...
Does he realize that a good portion of poor people who are fucked over by DC lawmakers that he is simping and condemning at the same time? Light condemning, hard simping for live in the north? Like, there's a fucking bunch of poor people that don't live in Virginia.
With better pay, better opportunities, better everything. The answer is to protest and get out in the street. The answer is to unionize and organize against...
Yeah, unions have been super helpful for people, right?
Against your boss, for example, until you're getting better pay. People who are in the same economic class as you, but look differently or dress differently or...
That's what he is fucking saying.
Different orientation, whatever. Those people are not the reason that life sucks for you. So again, the track does...
Dude, this is some of the most insane shit I have ever fucking seen.
Lend a legit voice to some real struggles, but any kind of solution-based focus from there is just misdirected into other just non sequitur crap, which is pretty much a hallmark of right-wing anything. Get mad and get afraid. Oh,
Snoot, if I get drunk off my ass listening to this commie, I'm blaming you, lol. I don't know what to tell you, guide. I don't know what to tell you, buddy.
Over
Thank
stuff
you for the
that
100 bits.
doesn't really impact your life in any way. All right, that's all I'm going to say about this track.
But it wasn't all he said about the track. Because so we have the Oliver Anthony update. And let me see what the likes to dislikes are on this one real quick. While I shield to all of you the fact that we are almost 25% to the stream. While we are almost 25% of the stream goal, you can support by using bits and subs. Or you could hit up that Streamlabs and yeet the soy boy entirely, which would be fantastic. Okay, it is 6,000 likes to 4,000 dislikes. Okay, let's see what this is about, guys. Please share it out, too, as well. I am going to try to do more stuff on Twitch. Like I talked about last night in the Sunday stream, one of the biggest thing, the most important thing for me right now, besides bills, is saving up enough money to get LASIK. And that shit is very, very expensive. So that is mostly what I'm trying to save up money for. If you want to support, that's where that's going to go for the most part right now.
They said we could never make it. Ooh.
Cringe.
Hi everyone, Anthony Fantano here, the internet's busiest music nerd. Hope you're doing well. Let's talk about everyone's new favorite singer and songwriter in the country scene. That would be Mr. Oliver Anthony, a guy who we talked about on this channel not too long ago. Much to the dismay of many a commenter saying that I was misunderstanding Oliver Anthony singing about rich men north of Richmond, and he wasn't drawing a north-south line. He was just singing about politicians from...
He's just going to wave all of that shit away. He's just going to ignore all that and be like, no, you're fucking full of shit. He was definitely doing that. Nerf Ninja for 245 bits. Thank you very much. Nice one, Luna. Find a good LASIK doc, too. That matters. I'm shopping around, but I don't know what to look for, honestly. All I can read is Google reviews.
DC, because that's north of Richmond, guys. But, like, number one, Richmond, home of the Confederacy. So there's that.
And it's also directly south of DC. Like, you just had it on a map right here. Like, just bring it back. Hold on. Come on. Where are you? How many frames behind? Oh, fuck. There we go. It is fucking directly south of DC.
See, so there's that.
Sin is doctor shopping? Fuck yeah, I am.
That, number one. And number two,
if I can get it for closer to 3,000 than 3,500, I will absolutely do that.
There are politicians all over the country contributing to the societal and economic ills that Oliver Anthony supposedly cares about. It's not just the ones north of Richmond, but regardless.
But that is where they come from.
I talked about this in part in a clip that didn't make it into the original video. I don't think he just generally means politicians. There's politicians all over the United States of...
There's politicians all over the United States. And where the fuck do they all work? Oh my God.
America. And most likely there's a lot of Southern politicians he probably agrees with. I don't think this guy would have an issue with government generally if it were, espousing and supporting whatever ideas he believed in.
Why the fuck would he? That's about the price I'm looking at, guide. Between 3,000 and 35. That's about what I'm seeing. I'm just trying to save up money however I can right now. Again, this is like I talked about last night. I got set so far back with Mom's funeral and shit. If it weren't for Luna, I would have been fucked. But even with everything he did, I still had to pull a couple grand out of my own pocket and grab a fucking what's it called? A cash advance on my credit card. That's super fun. But yeah, the next thing I want to get LASIK. I'm so sick of the fucking glasses. I am so sick of the goddamn glasses. It's not even funny.
So yeah, Oliver's song gets recorded, gets released, put up on YouTube.
No pointy. I am doing much better. I have left that channel behind. I didn't delete it because I have honestly, that's where I keep all my playlists and shit. But yeah, no, I got another channel, The Silent Sin, and I've been doing stuff over there. Same stuff I used to do on the Sinatra Says channel. It's a young channel. It's got about 2,000-ish subs, and it's growing.
YouTube gets blasted through a bunch of right-wing media channels and talking heads, promoted by this
Jason
Howerton guy. Turns out this guy is like a well-funded and connected, politically right-wing social media operative. We showed this in the video, but I need to be like, explicit about this and say that even dudes like Dan Bongino, that mailbox head man, came in and confirmed that, yeah, this guy basically came in, helped blow Oliver's song up. This
Okay. And
basically makes Oliver an overnight sensation to the point where he gets a #1 song on the charts. That's right.
Guide, that's all I'm doing, man, is I'm stashing money to the side. I'm just stashing it away. And if I can get it in the next year, I'll be very happy. 6 months, actually. I want to get it before next summer.
Right, numero uno, baby. He's getting media interviews and opportunities, although, like, he's not exactly towing the line that people are expecting him to tow, given the crowds of people that his song is hitting with. Like, there's this interview where I guess he's coming on and talking about how, like, America's diversity is its strength. There are some right-wing weirdo guys who do not want to hear that.
So what? He has opinions that diverge from yours.
That is for sure. Oliver's song and music video were also played and referenced at the recent GOP presidential primary debate because, again, like I said, the song is doing really well, culturally speaking, in right-wing circles.
Oh, no, it's doing well in literally every circle.
Dog whistles and its attacks on the welfare state. It's saying the sorts of things that these people want to hear. But Oliver isn't really happy with the type of attention the song has been getting up until this point. He's actually gone onto social media a couple of times, most boldly when it got played at the GOP debate, just to say, like, I don't want anything to do with this. I'm not right. I'm not left. I wrote this song about those people. It's not just about Joe Biden. He's kind of painting himself at this point as being like a very above the fray, not politically affiliated kind of guy, which he may very well be, even if there are some right-wing-esque talking points espoused in his song. Now,
how is it a right-wing talking point to care about the working class? What?
Now, at first when I saw him doing this, part of me was like, oh, I wonder if he's like kind of disgusted with the stuff that he's seeing or the types of people embracing his song.
With politics writ large, yeah, that's what I would assume.
And is trying to actively like distance himself from all of this. Honestly, I think Oliver is actually like most Americans and politically speaking, is pretty much an ignoramus and doesn't really know what ideas, thoughts, or narratives.
Yes, Oliver is ignorant and doesn't know anything about politics, but Anthony Fantano knows everything and can provide a much better fucking opinion. Okay,
ignoramus and doesn't really know what ideas, thoughts, or narratives
Trump's budget is $292 million. Attack on poor. Okay.
are coming from what direction. He's
What a fucking douchebag, dude. This guy sounds so insufferable. Does he have
just
a ring
intuitively soaking up whatever it is he's reading or seeing like a sponge, and just by whatever intuition he has, just deciding what makes sense and what doesn't. Which there may be some people watching this video thinking, that's how it should be. That's how I am. What's wrong with that? Well, sir.
No, I do not see
that's how you end up in a place.
Oh, no, he does have a ring. Who the fuck married this guy?
Where you're writing a song where you think you're like defending and fighting for the working class, but
Yeah, Woozy Tiger. He's just calling him stupid. He's like, no, that Oliver guy is stupid.
you just end up attacking other poor people who are on food assistance. He is taken to Instagram to sort of try.
This guy gets a totally different take from the song than I did. Well, it's because he doesn't know why. He just knows he shouldn't like the Beard Man song, so he's making up reasons to not like it.
To explain away his attack on the obese milking welfare.
Our government likes to throw money at problems without conceptualizing real solutions that connect to the individuals involved. The lyrics contrast that some are left with any and others are left with the option of living on junk food. Meanwhile, our farming industry has been corporatized and sold out. Food is entirely too expensive, especially in a nation with abundant farmland. In politics, it's all about keeping people who are dependent. Yes.
In his song. Look, dude, it's a crappy line. Just own up to the fact that the line is crap and has no place and makes no sense in a song that is allegedly a pro-working class song. And make no mistake, it was an attack on the welfare state, and this is something that some of the conservative talking heads.
Welfare state is open to attack. The welfare state is not above attack. Where did this fucking shibboleth come from? This guy's just saying what gets him paid. I gotta agree.
Heads that helped blast this song out and make it popular, celebrated about the song most. Again, the sentiments of the song rang loud and clear. It hit with the people it was gonna hit with, given what Oliver Anthony expressed. And while I am willing to give him the benefit of the doubt that he was basically too dumb to a degree to understand what...
He's too dumb. God, why do soy boys have this fucking awful, this condescension attitude about everything?
It was he was communicating. That's not to say that Oliver Anthony should be like, you know, just like given a pass for things that he says. He still communicated. It caught the ears of the people who sort of like understood the politics and understood the perspective.
Real quick, I want to throw this out there. We're just doing a very short stream tonight, guys. Just a little something to hold you over till Tucker tomorrow and the AAA Wednesday. But we are 25% to goal. Please, please, please make sure you have shared it out. If you want to support, you know how, bits, subs, all that shit. But most importantly, please share it out. Get it in Discord, get it everywhere. I want to start streaming on here more. Superiority complex. Yes.
What I am saying is that I hope that Oliver Anthony has mind enough to look at the situation he's just been through, learn from it, and get some perspective on the power of his words and who he could potentially be hurting, depending on who he decides to shout some negative words at or attack in a forthcoming song. I hope that...
Pat, were you listening earlier? What does he sing about black people in the song? He went on one of his little tirades and went, it was lazy welfare. Like, he wanted to drop the N-bomb.
Politically, he continues to go his own way because I don't like the two major political parties in this country either. I know...
Yeah, they're not communists, so of course you don't like them.
Which one is pushing more toward fascism? Here's a hint. It's not the one that thinks trans people should be allowed to exist. So...
Who is running on the platform that trans people should not be allowed to exist? Can somebody please show me that so I can tear them apart as well?
So, given everything we're seeing of Oliver Anthony up until this point, I don't think he's acting nefariously. I don't think he's a crazy right-wing figure either. What's most likely the case is the guy didn't really understand the political and ideological world his song was going to be getting fed into when he decided to work with this rich guy south of Richmond. And everybody who was going insane about like, oh, the song's not right-wing. It was more about who the song
Why is it whenever somebody says welfare, liberals immediately think it's about black people? Because that's what they're conditioned to think. They cannot think in terms of poor and rich.
Was being consumed and pushed and celebrated by, again, with the song being played literally at a GOP debate.
So was fucking like Bob Seger and shit. So what? What does that have to do with fucking anything? This is some of the dumbest nonsense I have ever fucking heard.
Track became even more of a far-right siren call than it was when I originally talked about it in my first video. Then number 2, Oliver Anthony with all of his recent statements about how, this song was written about the politicians on that stage. It's not right or left affiliated. I'm kind of taking this as a W. This whole situation would be way.
Why would you take that as a W? Your last video got like 200,000 views and his is at like 50 million. Do you think he is responding directly to you? Nothing in anything he has said made anybody think that he was right wing or left wing. He's talking about the working class in America. Even the fucking Hill TV said it was the new blue collar anthem. Everybody but these people and people like Vosh, which I might do a stream on this in and of itself, can see what he was talking about. The only people who hate this song and who have issues with it are people who just A, don't like the music, or B, are told that they shouldn't like it and should have issues with it.
Were socially and politically speaking, if Oliver Anthony instantly after the song blew up and knowing where his bread was being buttered, decided to roll over and become a little piggy far-right media darling like Kyle Rittenhouse has. And even if he isn't the most political...
Why is it shocking? Why is it remotely shocking that Kyle Rittenhouse wanted to cozy up to right-wing media when the left-wing media was literally saying he ran around killing black people when they couldn't even get that factually correct?
Educated guy on the planet, I can at least commend at this point that he's kind of reacted to this in such a way where he's like, well, screw this. I'm like going in my direction. Because for the Matt Walshes...
That's what he has been doing. That's where he has been.
And the Ben Shapiros of the world, for them to not still have this dude to continue to push and exploit and, basically squeeze social relevancy out of, it's pretty much a loss for them. And it does maybe create an opportunity for him to possibly de-radicalize.
He's got the eyes. He's got the fucking eyes.
As some of the right-wingers who are following his work who think like, well, if Oliver Anthony, this guy whose music really inspired me, doesn't consider himself to be right-wing, then I don't either. That's kind of a hopeful...
That's not... What the fuck, man? Nobody is taking their political cues and how they vote from Oliver Anthony. What are you fucking talking about?
Outlook on the whole thing.
God... I wanted to eat the soy boy so fucking bad, but I don't think we're going to do it. But holy shit, I might just do it anyway.
Either way, that's my update on Oliver Anthony. I hope that he is, continuing to grow and learn and make...
He's trying to condescend Oliver Anthony to making a song that's anti-Republican.
Maybe writing a new interesting song that we'll hear at some point. Fingers crossed that it's... good and actually mindful of...
It's only mindful if they agree with you. Has anybody else noticed that? Stuff is only good and worth listening to if it's something they like.
People who he considers to be of the same class as him. Thank you guys very much for watching. Let me know what you think.
Holy shit. All right, let's just take a little look.